We're solving problem 22 from the 2021 MC12A. Suppose that the roots of the polynomial p of x are cosine 2 pi over 7, cosine 4 pi over 7, and cosine 6 pi over 7, where angles are in radians. What is ABC? And I've written out the polynomial. And for this problem, we will be using the property, the trigonometric identity, that cosine of theta plus cosine of 2 theta plus cosine 3 theta is negative 1/2. And we want to use this is because we see a recurring sequence between these angle measures because, well, they are they are in proportion to this identity, which is why we chose to use it. So to make things simpler, let's let cosine of theta for angle theta here be x. I know there's x's up there, but this will just help us from not writing cosine of theta over and over again. Now, we want to find a trigonometric sort of thing where each of these cosine 3 thetas are turned into terms without the factor of the amount of thetas. So, for instance, for this cosine theta, we know that cosine theta is just x. For cosine 2 theta, well, now we want to find a value of it where we get rid of this 2 inside. This evidently becomes 2 cosine squared theta minus 1, or 2x squared minus 1. Now we want to move on to cosine of 3 theta. Cosine 3 theta, well, we can see this as cosine of 2 theta plus theta. And now we can really get all these factors out. So this becomes, and I'm just going to write it here, cosine of 3 theta, just to be clear. This is going to be, well, there's going to be 2 theta cosine theta, and you're going to have to subtract some quantity for this to work. In this case, this first term is going to be cosine theta 2 theta times cosine of theta, and then you can subtract, oh wait, no, this is cosine squared, and then you can subtract the value of, because you're having this, you get this out, and then we have an overestimate, so we have to subtract some value. This is sine of theta minus cosine times cosine theta times sine of theta again. Now, for this term right here, this isn't a square, it's cosine of 2 theta. But basically, when we factor this out, there's going to be since there's a cosine of 2 theta, we know that that is 2 cosine squared theta minus 1. So when we factor out the cosine, or just plug that value in, we do that. And then this is cosine theta. And then you have to subtract this still. That's going to be minus sine of theta cosine theta minus sine theta cosine theta sine of theta. Since we factored this out, we want to factor out something here. There's two sine thetas, so we can factor that out as a cosine of theta because that makes a square. So this would be cosine of theta times sine of theta squared. But since we want the same variable x, in this case we want it in terms of cosine, we can use the trigonometric identity that cosine squared plus sine squared of theta is 1. And since we have a sine squared here, this sine squared of theta can be rewritten as 1 minus cosine squared of theta. So, and there's going to be a 2 here, just to even things out. So, we have this, and once we multiply everything out, that's going to be 2 cosine cubed theta minus cosine of theta. And then this is minus 2 cosine theta plus 2 cosine cubed theta. This becomes 4 cosine cubed theta minus 3 cosine theta, or just simply 4x cubed minus 3x is all equal to cosine 3 theta. So now that we have these values, we can plug it into this equation. So when we do that, cosine theta is x, cosine of 2 theta is 2x squared minus 1, cosine 3 theta is 4x cubed minus 3x is equal to negative 1/2. When we rearrange everything in this form of the polynomial, that becomes 4x cubed, this is plus 2x squared, minus 2x, and then this is gonna be, well, there's a 1 here, and then you add 1/2, that's negative 1/2 is equal to 0. We have now determined all of the values of a, b, and c in this polynomial. And since it wants the product of a, b, and c, well, you might think it's 2 times negative 2 times negative 1/2. But that's not the case, because as you can see in this polynomial, the coefficient of the x cubed is 1, and we have it as a 4. So we have to divide both sides by 4 to get our result. Our polynomial being x cubed plus x squared over 2 minus x over 2 minus 1/8 equals 0. It is then at this point where you multiply these three together. 1/2 times negative 1/2 times negative 1/8 is going to be 1/32, our answer for this problem.